I'm good. Well, hey, ladies.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Doing good.
Good. As we laugh and as we okay, ladies and gentlemen, there was a pre-show to all of this. So I'm gonna say this up front. Please watch the video and also subscribe to the podcast itself because you're gonna see our faces and we're all like looking at each other. This is all the fun stuff. The precursor to the Heart of Chat, which you got a little bit of a taste of at the party.
Yes.
Yay. Yeah, so by the time this episode airs, you would have attended the party. So thank you for all the love, support, all the well wishes. And yeah, this is episode 18, y'all. We are in the home stretch.
We're wrapping it up for the season.
We are wrapping up for the season, right? 7 more episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 more episodes. So yes, don't fret though, ladies and gentlemen. We will still be sharing content and some of the bloopers and outtakes, which you can see sooner if you just go to our YouTube channel. Little plug there for YouTube.
Yes, exactly. Just
yes.
Live. That's all the bloopers.
Oh yeah, as we all look at each other like, yeah, what were we just talking about? Yeah, somebody recorded.
Lynda, when I said, I know we're gonna get to the show, but when I said to Lynda, tell the people what they're getting. What they getting?
I drew a blank.
She was serious too.
I was dead serious. I was not playing this time because y'all know I joke around a lot, but I was not playing. I drew a blank. I think it was the light camera action. Jeanette was like, no, you didn't.
Y'all were so excited to party and see the people that when I was like, hey, y'all know we talked about a few things that we were going to do, huh?
I was like,
no,
we don't remember.
Yeah, Shauna, like, I just want to talk to the people. And Lynda was just like, hey, I'm here. What kind of party at?
Put my scarf on. And let Maddie.
So you know those movies where they show the people walking through the crowd and had their cup and let it just floating through the that's how Lynda was. She just
that was me. Because I drew a blank. And the crazy thing is, if y'all watch the video, the darn cup is sitting right back here behind
you
me.
You turned to it like you was gonna get it, and it was like, what we doing?
Like, what are we doing? Like, no idea.
That was a great night. That was a great night. Thank you for everyone that showed up, and we can't wait for a future virtual party and eventually at some point an in-person party.
Yes, for sure. We got a lot of questions about that. I think one of the Heartbeats submitted a question. Hey, are you guys going to start touring, do city to city? That is the plan. Yeah. And I think we shared some of our future goals with them as far as what we'd love to do. You know, Heart of Chat in different cities and all these different connections. So totally looking forward to that. So we appreciate you guys so much. Yes. All right. So ladies, let's dig into this topic today. Woo-hoo. And I'm looking at y'all faces. Luckily, I can't see my face. I had to cover up my face because I'm like sitting here with my little notes and stuff. And because I look at myself, I'm gonna draw a blank again. So here we are. That's what did it. I'm thinking, whatever. But yes, today's topic, it's a one-liner, ladies, a one word. Shauna, you want to say what that is?
Dream killers.
Yeah.
y'all know somebody, and if you don't know somebody, you might be that somebody.
Are you that somebody?
Are you the dream killer? Let me not act up. It's too early to act up. Go ahead, Shauna.
We're drawing them in, y'all. All right. So dream killers. So what do we mean and what are we talking about that with this topic?
So with dream killers, for me is we speak a lot about going after your dreams, going after your goals. I feel like we've spoken quite a bit about that, how to develop your dreams, how to find your dreams. As you are on that path, there are people that seek to destroy your dreams.
Yeah.
And you have to recognize who they are or where the energy is coming from and how to navigate around it so that it doesn't cause doubt and deter you from reaching your dreams.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we do talk about that a lot, and we have, and we talked about pursuing your dreams. We talked about dream again. I think all the positive things, which is great too, because we do have to put that out there and put the positive vibes out there as well. But I think you do want to capture sort of the gotchas, the traps, set by either people or circumstances or whatever it might be. We want to share with you some things to look out for. And it could be that maybe it's just not all people related. A lot of it could be. Some of it is, oh, maybe we're setting a trap for ourselves and we're killing our own dreams by maybe pursuing something, a relationship, a set of relationships that may not be the best fit for us. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure I touched on that.
I like that.
Slightly. Yeah.
Like
Jeanette,
that.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've experienced a lot of it in different ways. And some people don't even realize that they are a dream killer for people because they think that they are being helpful by being cautious for you. So like it's like knowing when to say thank you, but I'm going, and then doubling down on where you stand at the end of the day, knowing why you're going after your dream so that you can say, I appreciate the feedback, but I'm going this way. And that's just what it is. And being okay to do that and setting those boundaries for people. So you got to do it.
Boundaries.
Another good one.
Yeah. Boundaries. I think, man, it's so much to this. That's another thing. Like you have to figure out what's good for you and what's not good for you. And whatever doesn't make you feel good, then you need to make changes. Whatever it is, if it's something you're doing, how many times have we self-sabotage ourselves or we throw roadblocks in our own way just because we're afraid to succeed? I dealt with a lot of that, I still deal with that sometimes. So, but as far as boundaries, with your circle, family, friends,
parents.
I mean, excuse me?
Was it parents?
Oh yeah, parents, that's a big one. Parents, it can come from anywhere. Dream killers can come from anywhere. They're lurking, they're watching, they're waiting. And if you can't tell somebody about your dreams without feeling like they're going to have some sort of negative reaction to it or action to it, or you know what I mean, they're not going to support it wholeheartedly, that's a dream killer.
Yeah. It only takes one time for me. Like if I come to you and tell you something and I'm excited about it and you just are like dismissive of it or make it seem like it's not as important or whatever, you know what I'm saying, just dismissive of what I'm telling you, then it's like, oh, noted, I won't be coming back to tell you anything else. And you want people that you're close to support you and be excited for your projects, but unfortunately everybody is not going to be excited. But you also have to recognize the people in your life who are, and it could be the most unexpected. You like, dang, I don't even know her like that, and she's just like super excited and just like, yeah, I can't wait for this. I'm so excited for you, and you be like, really? Take note of those people because those are the people that value and appreciate what you're doing. But I mean, we talked about it before about friends and having different friend groups and knowing which friend groups or even family member groups, because I love my family, but we all have our people like that. We have a big family. So I know that I have a certain set of cousins and my brother that I'm responsible for. If something happens and go down, these are the people that I call. And then my other cousins have people that they call. So it's not like I'm isolating myself intentionally, but it's the nature of it and it's what happens. But even so in family and with friends, you have to know people's purpose in your life. And everything is not for everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. And I think also you need to know, how can I put it, how to work. Everybody brings something to the table. And especially if it's your family and you really, it's different when it's friends, you might be able to kind of, family is a little bit more trickier to work in those waters. In that case, you try to play by certain people's strengths. What can they bring, or what that they will support you, and that's what you would take to them. But this person, you may not, you may take it to this person, but you may not take it to that person. And what I notice is, I noticed a lot of people around me can't handle the process of me getting there. So they want me to get there so badly, but they don't, then they start seeing the steps that it takes, and it's like they're projecting on me what they wouldn't want to do. Well, I wouldn't want to go through all those steps just to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they don't realize that they're, you know what I mean? They're getting in the way of your dream. That may not be for you, but this is something that I want to do,
Right.
So, and taking knowing the difference between that, a dream killer, and someone that's giving you constructive criticism, you got to know the difference in that too. And that's when I go to a person's heart. I'm like, what's the character of that person? What's their experience? What do they know? What don't they know? One of the things that my husband used to always tell me, my late husband, was, if anybody tries to tell you something and you're like unsure of it, or not even unsure of it, he would always say, consider the source. And every time I would consider the source, it always gave me the answer of, this person doesn't know what they're talking about, so I'm not going to allow them to come in the way of my dreams or in the way of what I'm trying to do, especially people that are not risk takers, that live a safe life. Everything has to be, safe. Yeah. Nothing wrong with being safe.
Yeah.
Just, I need to be able to take my risk without you being afraid of me taking it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And allowing that growth to set in. I think you said something earlier, Jeanette, just about, and Shauna too, about the boundaries. And, if someone is stopping you or stopping something before you even have the chance to start it, already shutting it down, whether it be negativity or not, it's just like, the other thing is, Jeanette said it takes her like one time to like, okay, for me, I'm like, I'm probably the opposite. It takes me, it took me, or it takes me a few times, not so much now in the space that I'm in, which comes from doing the work and all the inner work and all that stuff. But, I think, sometimes people that we're closer to, whether it be family, whether it be close friends, we want that acceptance. Yeah. And acceptance can come in so many different forms. And I write a lot about acceptance on my blog and such. But that acceptance is that, now I've learned after 7 years, that acceptance is being accepting of me, not so much being accepted by other people. So it takes me a couple times. So what took me 5 times to get, I may be down to like 2. So I may go back to that person now and say, hey, I'm doing this. And if they shut it down, it may take me another time or 2 to get it that they're not on that same path and they're killing my dreams.
Yeah.
So,
and that leads into everybody can't go. Right.
Correct. Yep.
Well,
everybody can't go.
Go ahead, Shauna. I'm sorry.
It's okay. That's all. I just wanted to say it one more time.
Everybody can't. No, they can't. But well, then. Go ahead, Shauna.
everybody can't go. You need to make hard decisions sometimes, your circles may change periodically, and you have to, it's like growing pains, especially if you're on this path of growth. You're not going to do it.
Oh, my growth.
Yeah. And you're growing. Sometimes you outgrow your circle. You don't mean to, but you may want something different for your life, and your circle wants you to remain the same because maybe they're not ready to grow, or they're not ready to venture into what you're trying to venture into. So, taking note of that.
People get, that's what I was going to say when I lost my train of thought, but you brought it back to that. People get stuck in people don't want things to change. They're so scared of things changing. They want, however y'all started your relationship, for it to always be exactly that way. But if you're my true friend, like, and I'm growing, like, we don't have to grow at the same speed. We can still be friends, but you have to allow me to be this new person. You have to get to know this new person that I am. I'm not the same person that I was when we first met. And I think for your friends who may be negative about your dreams, it's because they're scared that they're going to lose you. So if she grows, what if, I mean, you can, it happens in marriages too. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you see you and your spouse, if y'all came into the relationship out of shape and then he all of a sudden putting in the work, getting down, and then you become fearful that he might want to look at somebody else. Maybe I'm not enough for him anymore. In his mind, he's still attracted to you the way you are, but he just has made a decision for himself to do better and to, live a different lifestyle. But people get so fearful, and then they try to sabotage what you're doing, which that really is what ends up breaking up friendships and relationships, is because you end up sabotaging that person's growth versus cheering them on and allowing them to grow and have that process. I watched my parents over the years, and my dad, like, if he hadn't changed, their marriage wouldn't have lasted. You know what I mean? But then he changed, and then my mom went through her own stuff, and it was just like she had to figure out who she was, because then it was a complete empty nest, and me and my daughter moved away from them, so it wasn't even like they're out the house, but they're down the street. It's like, oh, they're states away. So now you really have to focus in on yourself, and so she had to go through what she had to go through, but my dad allowed her to have her space and figure it out, because that's part of the process of being in friendships and relationships. It's just allowing people.
I think it's just it's respect at the end of the day. Like, just respect a person's growth. Trying to control and manipulate a relationship it's not going to work. It always ends bad. Always.
And it's not a competition. Have you ever had friends and it's like, this is not a competition about, I can do this and I can do that. Like, I'm sharing with you because I'm excited. Like, I'm not trying to, like, if I can't share with you and you're not thinking.
You got to say, I'm excited in your Kevin Hart's voice.
So excited.
Look at y'all, all that Pennsylvania, Philly going on over there. There you go. Yeah. And I think sometimes too, like, pursuing different dreams over the years, I think some people get caught up in thinking, if I do this or if I support you, then you think I'm gonna be a blogger or a writer too. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten that.
Really? Wow.
Yes. Like, I don't want to do that. No, I'm doing it. No, I'm doing it. You don't have to do it. I just want you to just come hang out. I'm not saying you have to be a blogger or a writer, or you don't even have to buy any of my books. Just be there. I'm not even asking. So I've gotten that end of it too. It's like, but then on the flip side of that, I've gotten friends who they're not interested in all, like not interested, period. And like the blogging, but they support me. They're cheerleaders for me. But I've had other people who are like, oh no, you just want me to do this blog thing. I'm like, no, that's not even close. I'm doing this. So yeah, I mean, just even some of our folks, with the podcast, it's like, I'm not asking you to be a podcaster. We have info and things, and we're pouring our hearts to you, want to share with you. I mean, I got a beautiful text from a very good friend of mine, and she said, hey, I listened to every one of you guys' episodes, so, but she, she's not in this space per se, but that's her way of, okay, yep, I may not be interested in the kind of logistics of it, but I am supporting you because I shout y'all out and I love you guys. So yeah, I've had to go through this end over here of dealing with that. I was like, no, I'm not asking you to be a writer. So weird.
That's so crazy. So let's talk to the dream killers specifically, because maybe I think for them, especially the ones who aren't trying to intentionally kill your dreams, and they're just, like you said, projecting their own fears. But let's talk to them about how they can support their friends' dreams. And it doesn't have to be monetary. Like, what ways can they show support, even if you don't understand? Like, look, some of my friends think I'm weird and eclectic and whatever, but they're like, okay, well, I know she likes cameras, so let me go find Amazon and see, let me buy her something for a camera. Like they just don't know, or they just ask me, oh, she likes journals. I'm like, I bought you a journal. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. Like, they're like, I don't get it, but here you go. But it's not always about money and buying things. Like, what are ways that a dream killer who don't know they're a dream killer to support their friends' dreams non-monetarily.
Listening. How about we just start there? Can you just listen without interjecting, without giving me your opinions, and just really listen and value what I'm trying to share with you?
Yes.
Can you do that? So
Yeah.
that doesn't cost anything but
No.
time, genuine time.
Yeah. If it's something that you might not understand, but you might know someone else in another circle or in your circle or family who has a similar personality or like similar things to your other friend, then share that with somebody else, or just share it. Like when they post something that they're doing something they're excited about, share it with other people. You don't have to buy it from me. 9 times out of 10, you probably aren't my ideal client anyway. So just share it out so that other people can find what I'm doing.
Right, exactly. I was going to say that too about your ideal audience. You're not my target audience necessarily. Doesn't mean we can't be friends or anything like that, but just don't be negative. Don't say, oh, it's not going to work. Why are you doing that? You have a job. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. What are you doing? Your time. Aren't you too busy for that? I mean, those are all things in that space that don't yield positive results. So I think you have to be careful when saying these things, especially to, let's say, hey, I'll quit my job tomorrow. I'm going to go be a painter somewhere. Hey, is there a way I can support you? Can I buy you an art kit or something? Give some positive words of encouragement. If in fact it lives within that person.
Never do that. Like,
yeah, it makes you, and then we're the three of us are dreamers, and we're sitting here second and third guessing ourselves, like, oh, should I be doing something like this? So you don't want to make people feel like they can't explore with so many options out here. We have the world at our fingertips. I mean, especially we've been sitting still for a while, we have the world at our fingertips. There's so many different things we can do, crochet clubs to starting a podcast.
Crochet.
Yeah. And it's just so many things in between. And I think, showing up for those that we love and those we say we love and care about.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I think to Shauna's point about listening. So if you don't understand, then just ask them, like, hey, help me understand what you're doing so that, I can support you. Or ask them, how can I support you?
There you go. Ding, ding, ding. Mm-hmm. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Just ask them.
And let's go back to the old saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to go on the show to see me mouthing something else, but yes.
Zip it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Honey, go sit down somewhere. That's what you should do.
Right. Exactly. And you don't have to say something about everything. Some things can be, it's okay at times to have that quiet, relaxed time. That time is just like that space. People say, oh, dead air is bad. It's not dead. We're here. It's the air, right? So just sit still. It's okay. And we've been forced to sit still in many ways over these last few months. So it's okay. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to take anything away from you. So
I feel like at a time like now, where everybody's reevaluating their lives, trying to figure out their path, wanting to make changes. If this isn't the time that we should be supporting each other, this is not the time to, to keep up with that. And ladies and gentlemen, we're tackling this today because we have a lot of people that we know are going through this on a day-to-day basis in the middle of what we're going through right now, a pandemic.
Yeah.
Like,
and we're killing each other's dreams.
And what else about the businesses all the time? Sometimes it's something as simple as me making a decision to homeschool my kids and pull them out of school.
Well, how there you go.
That? Well, I mean, I don't know a lot of people the people I know that's been homeschooled. They just, they don't feel like they got a good education. Well, I know a lot of people where it's the opposite, and their kids are super bright, and you know what I'm saying? Like, just because it's not something you could do or would want to do, that's fine. But it's what I want to do. I want to go. I want to paint every day and my stuff look like some abstract stuff and the nose is over here and I don't care. It makes me happy. It brings me joy. Leave me alone.
Right.
Exactly.
Let me just have fun. We talked about this on the live about the people who dance badly and just want to, but they just love to dance.
I was raising my hand.
Let me tell you, I cannot sing, but I love to put on good music and sing like I'm Mariah Carey. Like, I don't care. Leave me alone, especially on a good road trip. Let me tell you. Me and my girl Dominique, we be in the car, we be putting on all the stuff. We had some major playlists for our road trips, and we'd be singing. I know our daughters at the time was like back there in the back, like they crazy, but I know they was back there singing too with they non-singing selves. But I was happy. I was having fun. I felt free. Like, let people just be free and live their life. Like, that's
exactly.
It's really not that hard.
It's not, especially in the time that we're living in. People, you don't know what people are going through. Maybe they're, like you said, homeschooling kids. Maybe they're trying to kickstart something that they've had a thought about or a dream about years ago, and maybe they have other personal family stuff going on. But then somebody comes in, you don't know what's going on, because people could be putting on that brave face, but then have all this residual stuff going on in the background. But then you come in and say, well, why are you doing that? It's just like, oh, really? And it just crushes you. And some people take it better than others. I'm the kind of person, I don't take it well. So like I said, it takes me 2 or 3 times to kind of get it. And I keep going back to maybe the same people, the same persons, but I'm getting it now. It's been a few years, like I said. But
for the people who aren't strong enough to not internalize it and then doubt and second guess themselves, like they really do just be putting their stuff down, like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough, because a lot of people are still dealing with like people pleasing, especially parents. Like, oh my god, like, how many kids are doing things that they don't want to do because they think that's what their parents want. Every time Nirvana asks, and she's 23, every time she asks me or doubts a decision that she wants to make, I'm like, honey, this is your life. You're 23. You out of college, you on your own. If you want to take a risk, I say take a risk. You know what I'm saying? I feel for people who are still caught up in that. Well, what would my parents say? I mean, I'm talking about grown folks.
Oh yeah. I know people that are doctors, attorneys, that got these, these nice paying jobs and completely unhappy because their parents pushed them into that field so that they could have this, safe life or whatever their parents felt was important to be able to say my child was a doctor, or, you know what I mean? And they're completely unhappy. And they may have been somebody that just wanted to sell records at a record store, own a record shop, or, something like that. Something, it's funny because when you ask people what they really wanted to do, it seems like it's off the wall what they are doing.
Wow, something else. So how do you like reevaluate? Like how many, I don't know if I put a number on it, but how do you reevaluate your family and friends or whoever? It could be a colleague or a coworker that may be second guessing what your dreams are. Keyword here, your dreams. How do you get through that? Reevaluating your circle, whatever circle that might be.
Right. Is it someone, so like with family, it's a little harder because, I mean, you can stop talking to family if you want to, but it's going to come around. Somebody, auntie, your mama, they're going to be talking and be like, well, I heard you didn't talk to such and such. Like, that is a little bit more difficult. But going back to setting boundaries, you get to choose who you want to be around, literally. It's your choice.
On and offline.
Yes. And what you share too.
Yeah. My dad is the simplest thing, like, when house phones is a big thing. Like, I'm so tired of this phone ringing. And he's like, don't answer it. She's like, what? The phone is ringing. You ain't got to answer it. Just because it's ringing, don't mean you have to answer it. And like, that's how I feel about people. Just because people want to know what you're doing or ask you a question and feel like they are owed a response, I don't owe you anything. I don't have to answer you. I don't have to give you anything. Like,
yes.
I think we said it before. No is a complete sentence. And whatever I give you, period, that's it. And I don't have to respond to anything else.
Yes.
That's what it is. I
Yes.
mean, it takes some
There
time
you
to get
go.
to that point for some people. I mean, I
Yeah.
It does. I mean, I'm the type of person, like, when I build relationships, I love deep and I love hard. With any relationships that I come across in my circle. And sometimes it's hard when you're changing and you're growing
Mhm.
and you're around people that don't want to see you moving.
Yeah.
And then you feel guilty because you don't want to leave them behind. And I remember coming up, I used to try to provide ways for them, bridge gaps for them to, hey, here's come on with me, and it took me a very long time to realize that everybody is not for the ride. And also friendships and, a lot of times those are just for seasons, a season in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, it's hard because I remember I was in a friendship and I was younger, and my friend she was about a good 9, 10 years older than me, but I was mature enough to hang out with her. And we were great friends for like 3 years. And then one year she sat me down and had a talk with me and said her life was changing. She was moving into a different direction and she needed time to herself, which included her stepping away from our friendship. She told me she loved me forever, and all these things. And I was just like, what? Oh my goodness. Why? What did I do wrong? First thing. And
Yeah.
I didn't do anything wrong. I was just really young. I didn't know. And as I got older and I realized when I had to let go of people on my journey on different decisions and places, I was like, now I understand what she was going through. She was going through something that she needed to go on alone, in a certain time of her life. And there are sometimes parts in our journey that we have to go alone.
And it's
We
also
have to
that she
go alone.
sat down and had the conversation with you, because so many times people get so they just disconnect from people
Mm-hmm.
completely, and it's like, dang, well, what happened? And then when they go through that and they try to come back, it's like now that person is shut down and have a wall up, because it's like, well, you just disappeared on me. So I think it's really good that
Yeah.
she actually gave you that
Mhm.
opportunity.
But I was approachable. Everybody's not approachable when it comes to those hard conversations. Those are
That's
hard
true.
I
conversations. We're
didn't
talking about, oh
we
yeah, that's a
some
hard
conversation.
conversation. And everybody, she knew that I could handle that conversation. Everybody can't. Sometimes you just
Mhm.
gotta bounce. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm just saying that you have to know the character of the person.
So
Yeah.
how do
Yeah.
you,
I agree with
ladies,
that.
handle that when it's a person that you know you can't talk to them? Like they don't handle things well. No matter what you say, they're offended. They take everything personal, even if it's not about them. How do
Hmm.
you handle those type of people when you need to separate yourself from them?
Yeah. I continue to be myself. I'm going to be me. And if I have to separate, if that for me, that means keeping the peace, which may not always be the right thing. But for me, it's keeping the peace. And I know not to step outside of who I am because I'm not going to go toe to toe. If this
Yeah.
is what you want, you know what? And again, this may not be the right answer, ladies and gentlemen. But for me personally, I'm just going to step all the way back. Like, because I'm not going to come out of my character
No,
and be
it's not
What's
worth
Jeanette.
it.
that?
I'm not going to come out of my character and be crazy, like,
Yeah.
flying off the handle.
Right. And
And
getting
because I
caught up.
know that that's all their personality, I'm just going to step all the way back because I
Yeah.
like to keep a certain space and I'm a certain kind of person and being rattled on the inside is just not my thing.
Me neither.
So
Yeah.
I think we're on the same wavelength.
I can't,
I don't
I
like it
love it.
either. I don't like drama. I don't like, words flying and or no. I rather. Hey, I'll just be honest with you. I will ghost you in a hot
Yeah.
second.
I feel like when I was younger, I struggled with, and my mom had to tell me, especially like when in the relationships with like guys, like mom, I remember my mom telling me, like, look, sometimes people are gonna think what they want to think because they're just mad, and you just gonna have to accept the fact that you're not gonna be able to remain cordial with everybody that you in
Mhm.
relationships with.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's gonna have to be ugly. Sometimes they're gonna have to hate you, and you're gonna have to be okay with it as long as you know in your conscience that you've done what you were supposed to do. You've done things with integrity. You're gonna have to let those people think what they think, because the people who know you, they're gonna know the truth regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even have to explain yourself.
Yeah,
Don't have to defend yourself.
Because your character speaks volumes.
It does. It does. They're gonna know that's not like Lynda. Even if the other person says that, oh, she did this and she did that, they're gonna know that I'm just gonna step off. Like, yep.
And then they're gonna know that other person too. Like, but I know you too. So
What's that emoji, Lynda, you do sometimes?
The one like this with the hands.
The one like this with the mouth. You said it says meh.
Oh man, yeah, MEH, man.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's exactly. Yep. Yeah.
I'm out.
Because I'm just not gonna be pulled down any rabbit holes for any nonsense, and that's just not me. And yeah, people will say, "Oh, you need to say this and say that, stand up." And this is my way of standing up because this is who Lynda is. I can't be, someone else.
Right.
So
exactly.
Like, all right, whatever. Keep it moving. Next, on to the next.
And we all are going to handle, situations like this differently. And I think for me is I try to put the shoe on the other foot. So as I'm building relationships or seeking out, I work really hard to be respectful, mindful, kind, compassionate, a listener, sit back. I really do the best that I can with that. And I try to improve on that every day because we need relationships. We need to foster them. We need to, in order to grow, we have to build relationships. We can't be afraid to build relationships because someone's going to hurt our feelings or say something we don't like or something like that. So I always try to go in with fresh eyes and a fresh mind whenever I am entering into new relationships and not take like stuff from an old relationship and bring it on, bring that baggage on over here. Well, I think this person's going to be like, you know what I mean? And I think that's another thing about me is I do give people the benefit of the doubt. And sometimes I do it maybe couple too long.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Sometimes I go a little too far with that and I'm like, you knew better. And then when I get bit, I'm like, well, you knew better. You knew the writing was on the wall. You just had to take it. You just had the double, triple, quadruple check. You already knew.
Right.
Yeah. And one of the things that we kind of talked about is sometimes you're trying to set when you're talking about reevaluating friendships and stuff, and we're talking about like, I just want to get out of this, I want to end it. But sometimes you're the one that's keeping it going. Like keeping it going by you're still hanging on to that person. And it's kind of like if you step back, what will really happen? And we've talked about that before too. And I feel like, you're like, oh, I don't know how to get out. I don't know how to get out of it. You've gotten the answer 50 times how to get out of it. But you still calling and texting like, hey girl, you be like,
why am I doing this? Yeah.
Knowing your heart's not in it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It's a habit. It's a force of habit a lot of times that it's something that we're used to doing for whatever the reason might be. And I like what you said, Shauna, about kind of carrying things into newer relationships, and sometimes that can work the other way too. Sometimes we're too cautious, like, okay, I'm not gonna get close to this person because of what happened. And I can tell you, I'm guilty of that. So sometimes it takes me a while to like open up. But I think part of that too is part of my personality also. But then part of that is baggage from prior relationships. But I've had to work on myself too to get out of that space. And I was like, at the end of the day, I still got to be Lynda. As goofy as I am, I'm going to be Lynda. And if people don't like it, it's like, oh well, this is what you're gonna get. This is what you're gonna get. So
now sometimes we be glutton for punishment. It's like I've definitely had that issue with having to ask for too many people's opinions. Like, just do what you need to do. Like, not like you don't have to go ask them. So what do you think? So should I do this? Do you think I should do that? You are opening up the door for someone to tell you exactly what they think. It's like those people that post on social media and they get mad when people be going at them in the comments. Like,
I know.
Don't be coming from my life, but then you don't put it out.
People are waiting. They are waiting to go after you.
They got the popcorn ready right here. The popcorn. Ready.
Like you put that out there, like, so
Yes.
just stop talking, turn it off, delete the social media apps.
Yes, it's okay not to put it on there. It really is okay.
From everybody. And your dreams are your dreams, and a vision has been given to you. So everybody's not going to understand it because it was given to you.
Right.
Going back to like everybody can't go with you, and not allowing people to put their dreams on you as well. So now you done put down what you're supposed to be doing because now you're chasing this dream with somebody else. And like, but
wow,
they said they were given that vision, but was that vision given to you for your life? Like, is that what you really want, or are you just trying to please this person? And now you done forgot who you are, what you want, because now you trying to be like, or, you know, whatever you're trying to do to be accepted by this person. So
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Acceptance of ourselves.
It goes right back to that, right, Lynda?
Always.
Yeah. Yeah.
Know thyself.
Yes.
Protect your energy.
Oh my God. That's hard for people to understand. Like having that conversation with people, like you were talking about earlier, with arguing and all the drama. And I've gotten to a point too where I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to be in this room anymore. I want to go ahead and remove myself. Well, what you running from? Why are you running from this conversation? I'm not running, but I made a choice that I don't want to be upset. I don't want to go to sleep with that on me, because guess what? This conversation has nothing to do with me. It's about you. And I think that's a big thing for people to understand when the dream killers do come in. Like, they're projecting. They're not even really talking about you. They're just projecting all their fears. It's a mirror to what they're not doing, what they don't have aspirations to do. And it's just like, you know.
They have inner work to do. They have a lot of inner work to do.
Right.
And it's not anyone's job to carry them. You know, we're not here to carry each other when you have to do the inner work. You know, a lot of that work you have to do alone, because you may be unpacking things that only you know about, and you need to get help. And then sometimes you may need to get professional help to unpack some things, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And I think we've seen it more, I guess, illuminated during this time too, with people.
Bright lights.
And, you know, even watching some of my favorite, you know, TV shows, it's more and more, and maybe because, you know, I'm home a little bit more now, but just from what the news people are showing, some of the national syndicated shows, what they're showing as far as, you know, getting help, digging into yourself, you know, whether it be writing it out, journaling. I saw a segment on journaling the other day. I've never seen that before.
I'm telling you, everything that we talk about and that we've been talking about, even on our individual brands before our mastermind and all of this stuff, is they're finally like realizing what's important. And that's what happened in 2020. 2020 showed everybody, okay, this is what needs to be taken care of. You know what I mean? Your mental state, your spirit, you know what I mean? Your harmonious lifestyle. You can't do anything else when those things are all over the place.
Flight attendant, you know, that's the first thing y'all tell people on the airplane. Put your oxygen mask on first. And
yes, exactly.
You know, you probably said it 1,000 times.
For sure. And I mean, it's been good to see that, but it also opens your eyes a little bit too. And it lets you know, wow, we're not just saying this stuff, and it's just not coming from Lynda, Shauna, and Jeanette, right? It's showing up in other places in our lives, in your life. And that people say, oh, there you go, talking about that woo-woo positivity stuff again. I can tell you, a lot of people to be like, man, sir, ma'am, no, nah. But no, seriously, you have to balance, because everything is not going to be peachy creamy every day. We get that, but you have to have that foundation so that when those things do hit you hard, whether it's family sickness, whether it's a job that's stressing you out, you're not sinking into the ground. It's bouncing off of you. You know, it's like, oh, okay, it's like a trampoline almost. You can bounce back quicker than you would You bounce back quicker than you normally, you know, than you normally
Exactly.
would.
Not like wallow there for a long time, weeks,
Yeah,
months go by, and the same thing
exactly.
is bothering you.
I know.
Feel your
Yeah.
I'm
feelings, just move
guilty. You see
on.
my shoulder. I said, yeah, no.
I know.
Allow
Yeah.
yourself to feel the feelings and then move on. You got to get up.
Yeah.
You can't just sit there in that nonsense.
Right.
Let
But
me tell you something that's really funny that happened to me. So I got a new car recently, and my brother was riding in the car with me, and he works for Hertz Rent a Car, so he's very familiar with all types of cars and what cars do. So I'm in a car that's just doing like 1,000 dings, and I don't know what they are. And my brother was like, "Oh, that was just a ding to let you know that you're driving good," stuff like that. I'm like, what? I don't need that, just like little things like that. So I was having trouble with my lights. And I'm like, I always have trouble with my lights. Like, I don't know if I should set it on this setting, on that setting.
Mhm.
So he leans over, he looks, he said, twist the knob, put it on auto. So I put it on auto. Then he goes, move on with your life.
yeah,
Yes.
leave it alone.
Yes.
And it stuck with me since the day he was in the car with me. And I've been just like, wow, put it in auto and move on with your life.
Mm-hmm.
We
And
get
I
so caught up, do all the
Yeah.
things.
It's
Like,
cool.
but
Yeah.
that just side note, that frustrates me to no end when somebody gets in my car and turns my lights off of auto. I'm like, why did y'all touch
Oh,
it? They go off by
man.
themselves.
that's me.
Ooh.
My
I'm
late
like,
husband
no.
could stand that.
The car dealership does that to this day. I'm like, why is it so dark out here? I'm looking around. I'm like, auto. I need my auto.
Well, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to move on with my
Yes.
life, and
Yes.
I'm going to take
You're gonna be good.
heed to that.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. If you're that negative person, thing that came to me about that is like, ask yourself, like, why am I so upset when they do this? We were having a conversation in another group, and we were talking about being okay with being seen and like not feeling like you're too much. And I was talking to Siobhan, who leads Be Free in a Circle, and I was just like, I've even had to check myself sometimes. Like, you see somebody, you just like, she just always like, why are you so chipper all the time? Like, it's too early for that. Or, you know what I'm saying? But then it's like, but why are you mad? Maybe you should ask her what she doing so that you can get some of that. Like let people be who they want to be, and do some self-reflection to find out, why does that irritate me? Is it a fear that I have? Am I feeling some type of way because I got baggage? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, figure out what it is about you and why that bothers you. It's not them,
Yeah.
it's you. Like, it's always back at the person with
There's something, there's something that you can learn from that it irritates, whatever irritates you or bothers you. I've been doing that lately. So if something bothers me or I see something I don't like, I've been giving it back to myself and trying to figure out what is it about that that's bothering you,
Yeah.
or the other question I ask is, what can I learn from this?
Yeah.
So that kind of opens me up a little bit more if I feel like I find myself seeing a situation. I'm like, oh, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is, I don't want to get distracted by what's going on over there. That goes back to staying in your lane and focusing on you, taking care of your business,
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just, man, you will go loca.
You will.
If you don't keep it together, and it is an ongoing thing. It's not a one and done.
Yeah, and it can knock you off for you. Like, I'm that chipper person. Jeanette, like this lady at work years ago, she used to get so mad when she would see me because she said, I haven't had my coffee yet. I can't talk to you. And she would do that, like, seriously, okay? Later on, years later, she and I ended up working together. And, then we became really cool. Like, I was still myself. And she would actually come around and say hi to me in the mornings, but she never used to do that before. I was still being me, though. So the other thing that could happen with that is it could send you off your rocker. You may end up questioning and doubting yourself because you are that chipper person before coffee hits, right? And that's okay to be that way. Yeah. And it may rub off on someone else, and someone else it may not. And it's okay if they tell you, look, I have tea in the morning. I don't want to talk to you before 10 a.m. Okay, cool. Then I'm just going to go over here.
It's a boundary. Look.
Yeah, it's a boundary. I'm like, and I respect that. I'd rather for you to tell me than you be, peering at me from a hallway across. like I'm some crazy person, but I do think that, some things we just have to say and be upfront too.
I love your glow, Lynda.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm not like a super morning cheery chipper person, but when I used to work in corporate and I would go into the office, I literally, everybody I walk past, I'm like, good morning, hey y'all, how's it going, good morning. And they be like, oh, hey girl, whatever. Let me walk past everybody because I'm in a bad mood and go into my office and sit down. Soon as my computer comes up, they on Skype. You all right? You ain't speak to nobody when you walk by this morning. I'm like, oh, now y'all want me to speak to you.
Yes.
They think they don't want it, or you might think they don't want it, but then you don't do it, and people be like,
they're looking for it.
I was looking for it. I'm looking for her to tell me good morning every morning. Like,
yeah. That's how, and then this whole corporate Zoom thing that we're on. So sometimes I have really early morning meetings and I'm literally y'all running to my computer because I log on at 8 o'clock. I'm literally running. And one time, I got on there, I was like, you know what? I was fixing my hair. I was putting on my lipstick, and the guys who I work with, they're great guys, but they're very stern. I'm sitting there and one of the guys just busts out laughing. So that just broke the ice. It was like, look, y'all called this meeting at 8 o'clock. I was not dressed. So this is what we're going to do today. Mm-hmm. And then that just totally broke the ice for everybody.
That's good. And I think it's good for people to be themselves and different and unique. Mm-hmm. It would be a very boring world if everybody was a step forward.
That is true.
The Truman Show.
Which is a very good movie, by the way.
Yeah, it was. And the Truman Show. I like the Truman Show too.
Yes.
But
yes. Well, this is great, ladies. I love this topic, and I hope that our listeners got some good takeaways. If there's one thing that we definitely want them to take away here, Jeanette, did you want to share something that they can do and in support of themselves or others?
For me, I would just say, and it's going to sound cliche because you hear it a lot now, is to remember why you want to do the things that you're trying to do in the first place. You know what I mean? Why does it matter to you? So that when someone tries to step you away from it, you don't have to question yourself and second guess because you already know exactly why you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then recognize that when they do come to you with negativity, that it's not about you. It's about them.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Excellent point. Shauna, what about you? Uh-oh.
Shauna, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Still trying to learn how to use this.
She was giving it good too, y'all.
She was giving it up. Go ahead, Shauna.
Let go of what doesn't serve you. So if it doesn't feel good, let it go.
Yep.
That's what I would say.
For me, I say be yourself. Continue to go after those dreams, no matter who's trying to shut them down along the way. And, find and I'll steal a little bit of Shauna's here, find the places and spaces that you can be in that are accepting of that, but first accept yourself. Yep.
Excellent.
That's what I would say.
Yes. Excellent.
Yes. Well, thank you, ladies. This is
you.
Always awesome. Any final words before Shauna takes us out and tell our audience where they can find us?
I'm just glad that we talked about this topic. Like you said earlier, Lynda, we do speak very positively about going after your dreams. So I thought this was a real appropriate episode to follow that talk because everything is not, like you said, peaches and roses, and we have to know how to navigate it. So I just hope that some of the tips that we share today will help.
I'm gonna get Jeanette. See, I'm over here dreaming. I'm killing her dream right now with those fries over there.
I can't believe she did that.
And see, didn't I just say? See, there we go. Here's a good example. Killing my dream. The Chick-fil-A in my neighborhood right now is currently shut down for remodeling, and there go my dream right there. Those. Okay.
Dream killers.
Man.
This is helping you dream again that it will one day be.
Oh,
y'all gotta watch the YouTube video. I'm so sorry, y'all.
That was nice. That was a nice ploy to 2 episodes ago. Okay, I'll have to drop that in the show notes. I'm dreaming again.
Shauna was giving us some good wisdom, and I just had to.
Yeah, no, I love French fries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love fries. So yeah, I think I got the gist of it out. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, Shauna, you want to tell everyone where to find us and how they can connect with us?
We're going through these episodes so fast.
I know. They are.
Season's almost over. Wow. We're really enjoying ourselves.
We are. Come back stronger than ever.
Yes, we got some great plans. We got some great plans.
We do.
So the Heart of Chat could be found on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at the Heart of Chat. If you didn't get your mug yet, please go ahead to our store and purchase your mug. We have another product that's going to be coming out right before Thanksgiving. Stay tuned. And if you're not subscribed to our mailing list, please do sign up for the mailing list because you will be the first to know what products we are offering out here and things of that nature. So yeah, so thank you again for joining us. Come back and join us next week because it's going to be another week of fuego, baby.
All right.
Come on back. Come on back.
Awesome. Thank you, lady.
Bye.
Bye.